Welcome to turning a moment into a movement.
This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night, the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit, all I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for me. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a couple noodles. Hey, you know what that feel like? Yeah, you know what it is. And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gon' pop off that LV. Ooh-wee. Cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute. Salute. You do good, brother?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight on Turning a Moment into a Movement. I am J Love. Welcome. I am the creator of this Turning a Moment into a Movement and also the founder of the Justice for Gerard movement. Gerard is my son who was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't do. Innocent, and he went to prison for that crime. So because of that experience with Gerard and all the people I met on that journey, created this platform called Turning a Moment into a Movement. Our mission here is to bring awareness to all that are impacted from being wrongly convicted, overly sentenced, mentally ill, and medically frail in our communities, to inspire, organize, and educate all communities about the needs to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns of the criminal legal system that leads to wrongful convictions. So that's why we come here on Friday evenings. And this Friday, we're going to talk about the invisible killer, toxic mold, and the struggle for justice. So before we get started with our conversation for tonight, I want to introduce the panel. And I'm going to start with Leslie.
Hello, hello. Good evening. Thank you
Hi,
for
how are
having
you,
me.
Leslie?
I'm okay. Um, so I'm excited about the topic because of the people that are housed, wrongfully incarcerated or otherwise, but also because it's something we live with a lot in Michigan. Um, last night we were at a talk and they were Trisha was talking about the mold issue at the Women's Huron Valley prison. My daughter shot her hand up with a question. I was like, "Oh no," and she asked, like you talked about, how mold spreads, but how does it get there in the first place? And I said, "That's actually a good question."
Mhm.
And so actually, there's a whole history of a lot of low income housing that's built on land that's not fit for human occupancy and not tended to. And even a house I lived in before this one, I remember getting a $7,000 bill because the irrigation flow wasn't right or something. And so anyways, the it's amazing how much we deal with environmental justice. At the same time, we're left out of the conversations around the environment and climate change and all that. You don't even hear us and the problems that we face being lifted up in those spaces. So I'm
Right.
glad to be here tonight and learn.
I'm glad you are here as well. Thank you, Leslie.
Thanks.
I see Reverend Tia. Hey,
Hey there, how are you? I have popped in early a little bit and then my system said psych.
I saw you pop off. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, it just went off. So I am glad to be back in here and excited about this evening and having this conversation, this necessary conversation. So I'm coming to you from the choice zone where your choice matters, and I believe everybody's choice matters. And I believe when we come together, we really are looking at the choices that not only we make for ourselves, but choices that have been made for us, choices that have been made for people um, who don't have a voice in our society. And it's very important that we come together to break these chains of bondage that other people have put on us. And I think waking up is the key. And once we are up and moving, in action together, this bond cannot be broken.
Yeah,
So I'm just happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
I'm, I'm happy you're here as well. Greetings, Marcus.
What up, though?
Hey, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to hang out with y'all young ladies and talk real talk. And I also would like to say a prayer for Krystal Clark if we can. Heavenly Father,
Yeah.
keep hands around her, and keep her safe from harm's way. And please allow and or come to the hearts of our elected officials and other organizations around here to save this woman and everybody else is going through the same things that she's going through here in Huron Valley. In Jesus' name, we pray, amen.
Amen.
Oh,
Thank you,
Amen.
Marcus.
Yes.
Yes. Introduce yourself, Marcus, and let people know who you are and what you do.
Marcus Kelly, founder of the Change at Midnight Coalition. I organize, advocate, train, and educate for the full restoration and enfranchisement of impacted communities. We are fighting against slavery and involuntary servitude under Michigan's Constitution, which is the beginning of humanizing people. We can't reform no system that's built on slavery.
That's right.
And there's no
You're
such thing
right.
as stuff on crimes politician either. You're either pro or anti-slavery.
Right. All
That's
right.
right.
Thank you, Marcus, for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, Trisha Duckworth.
Family.
Hey,
Yes. Everybody here today.
I know, right?
Mhm.
Get my good glasses
I
so
gotta get Trisha autograph.
You the one who autographed we need all in Hollywood.
Well, we in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that's right. Marcus will be in Hollywood next week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And man, and look, I'm gonna make sure I shout out Survivor Speak. And I got to, because y'all doing the work. You know what I mean? You're doing the work. I got to make
Right.
sure I at least have a clip of the podcast on there. Just saying.
Yeah, we got you. Yes, Trisha, introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
So my name is T Duck Weezy. No, tonight I'm Trisha Duckworth. I am the executive director and founder of Survivor Speak. Um, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody if we don't put our hand to the plow, it's going down, right? It might be going down anyways, but for some of us, it ain't going down without a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, very grateful to be here with y'all tonight. This has been a consistent force for the last, 4 or 5 years now of just bringing awareness and just really speaking truth to power. I have seen this show make a difference in so many issues and so many different things. And so, Jay, just thank you for creating this platform and inviting us to be a part. I'm excited. Okay, I don't want to say I'm excited about tonight because I'm really not excited to talk about how black mode is like literally destroying people's lives, right? Um, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to have this conversation because I believe that it's going to give people a little bit more clarity and it'll open our eyes a little bit more to people that are home and that are still suffering. So, again, thank you to everybody. I love you all so much.
We love you too. So while I got you here, Trisha, go. Let's do this right now.
Oh, yes. So, our annual wrongful conviction summit normally is in October, right? And we want to do some things different this year. And so, we are back with the partnership with Project Community, as well as the Michigan Innocence Club. And we will be at the Rosewood Ballroom in the Michigan Union on University of Michigan's campus. I believe that's 530 South State Street is the address. We're going to be there Tuesday, November the 11th. That's I think Veterans Day maybe. We'll be there from 7 to 9. And
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk to some retirees. We're going to talk to families. We're going to talk to some advocates. And the most beautiful part about this is that we have students that will be there, that will be learning. And it's always great to have that education piece. We were in a position where we were all sitting around preaching to the choir, right? And this partnership has allowed us to bring awareness these last 2 years on wrongful conviction to the U of M campus. So we're grateful for Dr. Christensen and the Project Community students for this partnership.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, yes.
And we'll talk about our other announcement later.
Yeah.
So let's get started. So I don't know what happened to Marcus or Leslie. Okay. Something is happening, but we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, there go Marcus. Leslie, I don't know what happened. Oh, I think I found it. Hold on, you guys. Okay, there go Leslie. So tonight we open the doors on a danger most people never see coming. It hides in the walls and the ceilings and the vents, and the entire system is built to forget that people living inside them. We're talking about toxic mold an invisible killer that has shaped lives, stolen health, and exposed the deep cracks in our fight for environmental justice. So tonight, one of our guests is actually the climate justice nurse, and we're gonna bring her on. One half of the group. Our other guest is having Lejuan Council. She was going to join us as well tonight, but she's having difficulties with her internet. But we're going to bring on the climate nurse. Greetings.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What an awesome group. I am so honored to be here. My name is Mary-Jaqueline Muli. My friends and family call me Kavivi, so feel free to do that. Yes, ma'am. I am a registered nurse. I am a cardiac ICU nurse. I practice at University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. So I'm gonna see if I can get if I can come and see you guys at Union's. You said it was on Union Street, on State Street.
Yep, in the Michigan.
In the Michigan Union. Okay, I'm gonna try and make it on Tuesday. But yeah, I'm an ICU nurse, and I founded my organization, the Climate Justice Nurse, because I have seen in the last 10 years in practice, especially, that the population of patients is changing. Our patients are much younger and much sicker. And as the climate has continued to change, I can relate some of the changes that I see at the bedside. So I'm seeing actual climate change at the bedside, which is really powerful. And so I decided that I was going to start this organization because I feel like as healthcare providers, we're always doing the work downstream instead of doing more prevention work. If we can protect the planet and, curb some of the changes that we're seeing in the climates, then I think would have a better outcome with taking care of people. We'll have fewer people in the ICUs. Right now, I'm sitting in one of our new ICUs. We just had this building built, and we are expanding from 10 beds to 16 beds and eventually 24 beds because we're busting at the seams. And the only thing that I know that has changed is, we're still the same people, but the environment in which we're living has changed. Mold is one of the things that I advocate for in Detroit. I've lived in Detroit for 25 years. In the time that I've lived in Detroit, I have seen our homes take a beating from water intrusion when it rains harder than it ever has. And we have these 100-year floods every 2 years. They say it's never rained this much. The last time it rained like this was 80 years. And then 2 years later, the same thing is happening. Our homes were not built to withstand that kind of mistreatment. And so I've had mold in my home, and I'm pretty sure my story wasn't unique. My basement flooded a couple of times, and more times than I actually would wish for it to flood. But when that water recedes, we're left with the effects of toxic mold. And as a nurse, I know that you cannot put a healthy body in an unhealthy environment and expect it to thrive. That's a lie. So I started my organization with my friend Lejuan Council, who advocates for healthy homes, and I advocate for the bodies inside of those homes. So I'm really honored to be amongst you guys today. This is such a dynamic group. Everybody's doing something different, but it's just so cool to be here. So thank you so much for the invitation, Jay. I met Jay at
the reproductive.
Yes, a reproductive conference in Detroit, and we just our spirits just connected, and I'm glad that I'm here. Like it finally happened. We've been waiting, to connect, and here we are on this wonderful Friday amongst these wonderful people. So thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really honored to be here.
Oh, yeah, you're so welcome. And we're glad you're here as well. And also, I want to bring on an additional guest for tonight. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing
Well,
okay.
just introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are.
I'm Rebecca Trevino. I'm a former inmate. I was in there and I got sick and I was around the black mold. They kept on painting. And now I got health problems severely and I'm here to speak up. So,
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
I
As a
talked to
matter of
Trish,
oh, go
Trish a
ahead.
lot lately. So I'm so happy I found her.
I'm so happy that we connected too, sis. I'm so grateful and
Thank you.
just happy to hear what you have to say. Not happy to hear what you have to say, but just grateful for your courage to speak up about this. I can imagine how hard it is for you.
Right. I was just diagnosed with that too, with the mold, and it's 72% in my body. When I got released, I was going to University of Michigan every week, twice a week for a few, well, I'm still going. I got 7, 8 specialists now. So,
Yeah.
I want to play your story.
and they found the,
Rebecca, we might have a little delay. I'm going to play your story and then I'm going to let you talk from there, okay? She might be froze.
okay, I was housed in Huron Valley. I got sick in there. They said it was dry eye for probably about a year. I was dizzy. Then I got into the wheelchair. Then I noticed I couldn't breathe, smell, and my eye turned yellow. I was in Fillmore at that time, and it had opened, but they were saying it was dry eye. And I kited and I kited and filed grievances. And they finally sent me to the hospital a year, and my cornea had opened. Then, probably roughly about around that time or a little after, they put me in the infirmary, I believe it's called. And then I kept on going. Then I still got health issues out here. I still go to the University of Michigan, and now they found something on my lungs. But they would ignore me. I would kite, and they would just say it was dry eye, like nothing was wrong. And I just felt like, who do I talk to? I tried to reach out to people while I was locked up, and I didn't know who to speak to. And now I know what's going on. And I was allergic to mold before I went to prison. And I was also housed in an 8 and 10 man cells. And then in the old child hall, they made into where they house women. And I remember leeches coming off that water. But now they found something on my lungs, and now I got to continuously struggle with this mentally and my health. Just I was never like this before I went to prison.
Miss Rebecca, what is the current state of your what you're going through with your sight?
They took my eye out in
I'm
January. They took it out. I lost sight. Yeah.
We are just our heart.
And I asked,
Yeah.
sorry, I had asked for my medical records from there, everything, but everybody seems to ignore me.
Yes, we will put you in touch with state rep.
They had took this out. So after all these years, struggling with that, and yeah, and now I'm getting infections regularly now, continuously.
Rebecca, Commissioner Sanders wanted to know, are you eligible, entitled to disability due to the loss of your eye?
Yes, but I used to work and I enjoyed working, but now this disability, it don't even cover, rent nowadays. So it affected that too. But yes, I got disability. But I was more dependent before I got sick. So, it's a whole life changing,
Commissioner Sanders says, what about rehabilitation support?
I got some family help. There's resources like Underground Railroad and things like that help. That's about it. But I still gotta depend, and now I'm visually impaired, so it's like it's hard. And I'm raising my 16-year-old. I was never like this before, so it's limitations what I can do on driving or walking or even being in the sun affected me bad. Night vision, everything.
Thank you so much, Miss Rebecca, for sharing this with us, and our heart goes out to you.
Thank you. I'm happy I can speak to somebody now.
Yes, Rebecca. So you just found out today you had a new diagnosis today?
Yes. I found out a couple of days ago, and I emailed Trish the name of it, and it's 72% of it in my body. It's in my lung. I don't know. I wish they would have just found something a long time ago and put me on something so I didn't get this sick.
Yes, aspergillus is the diagnosis. It's aspergillus.
Yes, 72%.
Isn't that what Krystal has as well, Trisha?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Krystal has it growing out of her ears and behind her ears. Nurse.
First of
Mary
all,
Jackie.
Rebecca, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of courage to stand before strangers,
Yes.
and
Yes.
share something so personal about yourself.
It's embarrassing.
My heart is so broken because in the city of Detroit, we've done a few mold tests in the city of Detroit, Lejuan and I, and aspergillus is what we find. We find stocky boris. There's one called stocky boris and aspergillus. Aspergillus is one of the most dangerous forms of mold. It invades anything in your body that's wet. So pretty much your entire body. It can invade anything. You can have hair loss. It's in your lungs, and it's very difficult to treat. It's very, very difficult to treat. So just hearing that just literally gave me chills because nobody should have to experience anything like that. That's really heartbreaking. I remember one time, I think there was a hospital in Detroit that had aspergillus in their ventilators, and they almost got shut down by the state because of how dangerous that is. And so to imagine that we have people, human beings, literally being purposely exposed to aspergillus every single day. And I say purposely because we know that it's happening. This is not a secret anymore. You know, people from all over the state, all over the country, and all over the world, like they've heard Krystal's story. You know, so your story is not, you know, unfortunately, your story is not unique. And I wish it was. I wish it wasn't that every woman who has been in that hellhole is, you know what I'm saying, coming out with all these illnesses, and that there's no, you know, there's no reprieve for it. Like nobody is going to own up to it. I think
I've asked for help inside and outside, and I just got ignored, you know, until my eye turned opened. Then an officer finally called healthcare, and they finally sent me to the hospital, and it was an infection.
And by then, I'm sure it was already too late. But they know that this is in the prisons, you know? They know that it's there.
But they ignore you because you're inmate.
You know, and I feel like mold is one of those things that people don't want to talk about. It's like a dirty subject, but the sooner we start talking about it and just admitting that this is happening, the sooner we can start finding solutions. But as long as we keep tucking this dirty secret away, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to people in my community and asked them if they have mold. And because Detroiters are so prideful, they'll tell you no. I don't have any mold. I have to stand up in a community meeting and say, I have mold in my house, so that other people can admit to it. I had a meeting. I went to a meeting in my community where it was a meeting with the councilman from my district, Councilman Tate. And, you know, I just stood up and, you know, because he was asking us what issues we have in our communities. And I stood up and I said, I have mold in my house. I have mold in my basement. And he said, well, nobody tells us about this. Do you have pictures? I said, I don't have to show you pictures because you live in my district too, and I'm pretty sure you have mold in your basement. And as soon as I called him out on it,
Oh my goodness, Nurse Jackie Rose. Go ahead, Marcus.
I'm just so one thing that Ms. Kavavi just mentioned is the lack of conversations that we have surrounding this particular issue with mold in particular. And what I just gathered from that is something that I kind of been thinking about for a while, that you can't change anything you can't name. Like if you can't name the issue, then you won't be able to change it. That even goes to people. Some people probably just don't even know they got mold. You know what I'm saying? If you're not an expert in that area, you might see something, you can just throw some bleach on it and not realize you're sending the spores through your house. I was one of the people when I was a kid. Until I realized how dangerous mold was. And in this situation with what Ms. Trevino is going through, is what a lot of is the same story throughout the United States when it comes to prison. And that's because you said that was a fact, Ms. Trevino, is that word inmate. You know what I'm saying? Once that word inmate get dropped on you, it's like it just dehumanizes you right then and there. So you're not even human at that point. And as somebody who's been through the Department of Corrections and suffered at the hands of the lack of Medicare, they don't even really see you unless you're finna die. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because they interpreted Estelle versus Gamble as, and with their own policy directives when it comes to Medicare, that as long as they give you a Band-Aid, they provide care. And that's a protection against the 8th Amendment violation. Or, and most times when you go, and Ms. Trevino will tell you, they'll tell you drink more water. Like drinking water is, and rest in water is the answer to everything. But they would never to take you to a real hospital or get something really done unless you are damn near on your deathbed. And even with that, they won't turn the records over to you if you ask for them, because if they found something and they realize that it's an epidemic that is going around the whole facility, because they actually, it's like clusters or something. I forgot what the sort of like you know, Ms. Trevino, when they give out placebos, give out a real pill to somebody else, and a fake pill to somebody else, just to monitor the population for purposes of pharmaceutical companies. You know what I'm saying? They put out on us. And in this situation, they knew for years that the mold was an issue because they've been monitoring people's reactions, their bodies. They had already knew it, so they already had a plan of we just going to deny, and play the deny game. So as long as we can play games, then we can and threaten you with solitary confinement or loss of privileges or send other inmates you. So they rule by fear. So shut you up. They can create their own narrative and say, well, this is true and Trevino is crazy and we do the best and we take care of our people in prison. And they spin this whole narrative of like these things ain't really happening. Meanwhile, we have Ms. Trevino who suffered at the hands of, we have Krystal Clark, we have so many people that come home not the same way they went in.
I never was like this.
Yeah, and see, and it's like, okay, well, because they making so much money off the people that's incarcerated, it's like, what's a lawsuit? I can lose $3 million when I'm getting $2 billion every year anyway. So you know what I'm saying. So they it's just like the Trump game. You just keep suing and suing and suing. Wait, somebody else. Okay, I made enough money off of Trevino now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give her a couple dollars, and we'll just do it all over again. Because most people are not going to complain because they're scared of, you know what I'm saying, the retaliation that comes behind it. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that too. Retaliation.
You don't even have different facilities. Women's only have one. So you stuck. If you make a complaint against an officer that's in that facility or the warden in that facility, they're going to rain terror on you because you can't even go nowhere. You stuck. So you can't expect the prosecutor to prosecute themselves. So you have to think the same way about people, correctional officers and wardens in prison.
Yeah, you know, I've got a question. I want to say, Rebecca, thank you for your courage, and thank you, Trisha, and thank you, Jay, and I want to thank the nurse. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, everyone on here for your efforts. And Rebecca, I know that you know that there were other women with complications probably similar to you.
Yes.
And it is really hard for me to hear people ask questions about your rehabilitation support. That just sent me to a whole nother level because why are you asking about rehabilitation support when she went in there not needing any rehabilitation? And I pray that you sue them. And I don't know if it can be done and how, but it needs to be done. And I know that it may seem like just a few dollars because they got so many people who they have abused and misused and just have done horrible, heinous crimes to people, not to inmates, not to criminals, to people. And I think the sooner we change the narrative on that, the better, when we are able to identify the people. These are people. And, you know, I wanted to ask the nurse. I love having a nurse on here because then we can hear from the from the gurus.
Listen, the devil's a lie because my connection obviously failed when I was getting fired up.
I know.
I was getting activated. I said, you know what?
Because I want to know, had she gotten soon? Because this is, you know, everybody I know has different reactions to mold.
Yes.
Some people are more sensitive than others. But had they intervened early on, you know, are we saying that this could have changed, that the outcome could have been different had they listened?
Absolutely. It would have changed the course of her life.
My eyes, my health, my infections, and I'm on antibiotics.
Losing an eye, you lose an organ. That, you
Oh
know what I'm saying?
man,
Like that is so huge. It would definitely have changed the course of her life.
my
Yeah.
everything.
Had one person listened, it would have changed the
Yeah.
course. One person, all it would have taken is one person to listen. It would have changed the course of her entire life. Which is why when I decided to call myself the climate justice nurse, because I know as one person, I can move mountains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can make people listen. People love to hear me talk. I have a little bit of an accent. They love to hear me talk. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell
If one
you,
person had listened, it would have definitely changed the course of her life. That's what all nursing is. And a good doctor is nothing without a good nurse.
That's right. That's
as
why
a
I always
nurse,
say, give me a nurse.
right? As a nurse, I just spent 12 hours with one patient today. 12 hours. You know how many times the doctor was in there? Do you know how much time the doctor spent? And every time the doctor came in, it's because I called them and I said, listen, I'm an advocate. I advocate for my patients. And we need the community to advocate for people. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm just an advocate. I'm just an advocate with a little bit of a science background. That's it. I speak on people's behalf. And I really feel like as a community, it is our responsibility. We can't put this on nobody else. It's our responsibility. We don't have, we can't wait. There's nothing to wait for.
Right.
When I decided to coin myself the climate justice nurse, I was on Google looking for a climate justice nurse because I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. The climate has shifted. There are no nurses at the table. What's going on? We're seeing the patients presenting themselves to the hospital with issues that we know are directly connected to climate change. So I wanted to know where the nurses are. So I got on Google and I started Googling the climate justice nurse and nothing came up. I said, well, Lord, I guess it's me.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I guess, I mean, if it ain't nobody, then it must be me. So I went ahead and registered the name and I started to do my research and started to advocate for my community and speak about climate change. Even today, even in rounds, every single day, I work in Ann Arbor. We take care of patients who come from all over the state. And I tell them, have you considered the climate in which these people are living in? Have you considered the climate in which you're going to send them back to? You know, we're all high and mighty and we can do all these fascinating things, but then you send somebody back to a home that's full of mold. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to come right back.
Right.
They're going to come right back. And if we're going to claim that, you know, medicine and healthcare is going to be a noble, it's a noble thing, then we need to do the right thing and stop readmitting patients for something that we know that we're sending them back to unhealthy homes. You know that. Then how do you advocate for them? We have case managers. We don't use them. We have caseworkers who can actually advocate for these people and find resources for them.
That's
You know, I'm a nurse. I'm a social worker. I am the therapist. I am everything because I have to be. I have to be. I don't have a choice. I chose this profession because I wanted to make a change in humanity, and I'm going to do it.
Yes.
I was called to do this. I'm going to do it. And you don't have to be a nurse to be an advocate. Everybody is an advocate. Wherever you stand, change happens where you are at.
Yes.
You know, so even so a lot of times we have inmates who are patients. And I challenge the people who are here to guard them. One time, I'll never forget, one time we had an inmate and I needed to weigh him. And he was shackled. He had four COs in the room, shackled. So I said, I need you to take these
The shackles off. Yeah. Excuse me.
Just to hear the deep. Oh, go ahead, Lassie. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I just wanted to pop in, always be a little racism translator. You know, we talk about mold. The whole idea of mold always has been around dirtiness and otherness. You know, we first saw that conversation actually in Leviticus, where, you know, then they were being, that's the whole idea of leprosy. Leprosy was actually mold. You know, they talk about the lepers and all that. That was mold. You know, modern day theologists say that was, they were reacting to that. And instead of helping the people, they said they must be dirty. And they,
Mhm.
and through the years, you know, that was the whole idea that, you know, Black folks were put in positions in housing that didn't have the same health, right? They're just put on little plots of land or whatever. And so you can always tell where a country or a people or a community, where they esteem people by what they do all their research on. You know, in other countries, they keep track of who has mold, and they have demographics. We don't have that in the United States. In the UK, they came out a report last year that Black people in the UK are 5 times more likely to be harmed by mold. They're in places where they're harmed and stuff. We haven't even got to the point where we're even tracking that in the United States.
We're
So
not even having a conversation about
right,
it.
we're not even at that point, let alone tracking. So and I know in my family, my grandma had 9 siblings, and I went to all their houses, whatever, and having somebody say there was mold or mildew or whatever was a bad thing. Like, you know, the whole cleanliness is next to godliness kind of deal. And so when you said that you have neighbors that won't say they have mold, I think there's some of it is a misconception that if I have mold, I must be dirty. You can't out clean
Absolutely.
mold. You can't out clean mold.
You cannot.
And also, I mean, let's also understand that some people just don't know that it's mold. Like they might think you can just spray it with some bleach and wipe it down, and not knowing
That
it's
is a
sending people everywhere. Some people don't know, and you know,
But
number
the
two,
prisons do know.
yeah,
That's the terrible part. The prisons are not stupid. I mean, they know.
no, the prisons know. We talking about in communities, prison, they know. You know,
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying?
that's
There's communities that don't know.
They know.
And then we talking about, and it always baffles me when somebody, even in Miss Trevino's case, where the default, of course, it had to be somebody that's elected official or something, but the default is always that rehabilitation organizations help you. And I want to back them up and just point something out and just put this on the floor. You can't rehabilitate people who has never been habilitated. You know what I'm saying? I hate that word. Like, if you have never been provided with the things to be successful in the first place, how could you re-give that to me?
right.
Exactly.
You can't re-give her all back.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. You can't re-give her health back. You intentionally made her suffer. You know, how can somebody
That is inhumane.
it's inhumane, and it's, like I said, it's because, going back to what Mr. Trevino said, once they slap that word inmate on you, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying, who you are a slave, period. That's it. Ain't nothing human about somebody, just no different than back in the day when they used to call you a jigaboo or something like that, set you on fire, dance around the fire because you wasn't human, you was bestial, you was this. They just, all they did was came up with an innovative way to say slave, which was inmate.
Right. I wrote the parole board last week, and they messaged back and they said prisoner Clark.
Prisoner.
And I said, that's the problem right there.
That's the problem. Prisoner, criminal.
We are not the product of our worst day, right? We may have some issues. We may have some things that we suffer through, but she is Krystal Clark. She is not prisoner Clark. You are Rebecca. You are not. It's just. And it just shows you the mindset. When they said that, I just thought, oh my gosh, this is why they're not doing anything. Because
And they do that to condition us. They do
Yeah.
that to condition us. Even for the community, when you hear that and you start to call people that, then you start to dehumanize them without even realizing that you're doing it. They're conditioning us.
We don't play that
They've
around here.
conditioned the people who are incarcerated, but they're also
Yeah.
conditioning us on the outside so that we
Or
can't
even
see
that
it.
word inmate. I don't like that word inmate. They are not inmates.
Right,
They are
right,
Rebecca.
right.
They are Krystal. They are who they are as a person. But it's that
So to
mind.
finish the story that I was saying before I got disconnected, they would not unshackle this young man so I could weigh him because they said that he was dangerous. I said, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. That's why all four of you are here. I'm not afraid of him. And also, so they make it inconvenient. So they told me, well, you have to call the warden. I said, and I sure will. And I definitely called. You're not going to scare me with that because the warden is just a person. I'm going to call and I'm going to advocate. I'm going to advocate within the hospital. I'm going to advocate outside of the hospital. I don't need the charge nurse or the doctor to call. I'll call. Give me the number. And I called. And he said yes. It was that simple.
Right.
He was just a person. I was like, listen, I can't do my job. I'm just trying to do my job.
Right.
But they try to inconvenience you so that you can think it's another step and something else that you have to do so that you feel like you don't have to do it. No, I'll do it. I can call because I will advocate for every patient the way I advocate for the donors of the University of Michigan is the same way I advocate for anybody who is in shackles, who is being mistreated. I advocate the same way. Advocacy is advocacy. Nobody gets left behind.
Yes.
Nobody gets left behind. I tell them all the time, don't tell me no patient is a VIP because all my patients are VIPs.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's right.
Every last one of them.
Right.
It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter whether they donated a building to University of Michigan or whether they were found on the streets in Detroit. They are all VIPs as soon as they walk in here.
Yes. Yes.
And if we start to treat each other like that, honestly, that's all we have to do. We have to start treating each other and seeing each other like that, like we're all VIPs.
Right. See the humanity in
It's
each other.
heartbreaking to hear the things that are happening to people who are incarcerated. It is heartbreaking because it should not be. It should not be. Doing time should be your only punishment. You should not do time and be mistreated and be subjected to stuff that's going to kill you. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yes.
And the other thing also is all these elected officials, they will never say that people were suffering in prisons and we were quiet. We're shouting from the rooftops. They're choosing to ignore us.
Mm-hmm.
They know everything that's happening in these prisons. They know. They built them.
Yes, and even so, a lot of them act like they don't know. But Krystal,
thank you so
we
much,
even
Rebecca,
met
for sharing
Krystal.
your story. It is heartbreaking, but it takes so much courage. And you're not alone in this struggle. There are people who are going to fight for you. God is still so good.
Thank you.
Because you even have learned that you're not crazy. All these things that you've been experiencing. I tell my patients all the time, a diagnosis is a blessing. It tells you that you're not crazy. You've been saying this for a long time, and everybody thinks you're crazy until it has a name.
I go to therapy now for this.
Right? And then
Right.
know you're not crazy.
Right. I knew something was wrong, but I go to U of M every week. And I live in Saginaw.
Yeah.
But nobody in Saginaw can help. They have to send me to specialist, which is in Ann Arbor.
Wow. Wow.
How do you feel like the other people that were inside of the prison at the same time do you feel like they are joining you in advocacy, or do they shy away from speaking out?
Nobody's told me anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hear from, as a matter of fact, we're going to hear from another young lady who was formerly inside of Huron Valley.
I don't know where to start. Healthcare, like she said before, sometimes you would just give up kiting. They would almost gaslight you into thinking that there was nothing wrong with you. I think I went 8 months with acid coming out of my nose at midnight every night before I finally got just something on my itinerary saying, you got to go see a nurse, but you don't know why. So I get in and I sit down and I say, please say this is about my heartburn. No, but we can talk about it. Of course, they just wanted to take my blood. They constantly want to take your blood. They will call you in 5 times a year to take your blood, but they won't call you in that one time a year for them 15 kites that you've sent. But the mold issue is really why I am here also to help, is because I remember when I first got there in 2019, I did 3.5 years from 2019 to 2022. And so I remember standing in 3 Block, and I hadn't been there long, and they brought out these new cleaning products for the mold, and they're explaining to us about the mold, and I can hear the girls whispering amongst themselves about, some people didn't really care about us, and I'm gonna go through this for these cleaning products. And in my mind, being a former manager of a service master business, I'm like, why are we cleaning mold? First of all, why are we doing this? My son's sister's mother died of a lung infection of mold. And I'm shocked standing there. And that's like kind of when it really set in. Like I wasn't afraid of the people around me. I was afraid of where I was housed. I'm like, you're killing us. Like you're killing us now. Like, and then I remember when I worked in the chow hall and the girls coming in with the buckets of paint and going and, sanitation, going and scrubbing the walls, and everybody going and painting over the mold. And then the next year when it came back. But what I remember most is walking to the chow hall. I had a long walk. I spent a lot of time in Harrison. So it's kind of a long walk, but the food, and so it made me kind of heavy. But by the end of the walk, getting there, I'd always look at my friend and be, oh my gosh, Jen, I can't breathe. And, I'd stand there and I'd breathe for a minute, and just every day from chow hall. And I kept saying, boy, Jen, it's got to be because I'm getting to be a chunky monkey, So then after I get out, I get back up here. I live in the Upper Peninsula. I always would tell you guys about all the snow. So I'm shoveling my porch. And it didn't matter that I had been gone for 3.5 years. Shoveling this amount of a porch should not have made me come in the house and have to lay down. I couldn't breathe. I could feel my feet were tingling. I was losing oxygen so bad. So I told my mom, I said, I need to get a doctor's appointment. Like, I need a doctor. I said, this isn't just, I'm not just fat, Mom. There's something else wrong. So I'm sorry, this is really hard. So, and I did smoke before, but not a lot. So I went to the doctor, and they sent me out for x-rays and did things, and they called me in, and at 37, I was diagnosed with COPD emphysema. And I know it's from the mold. I don't know how many years that took off my life, but my boyfriend said I said it best the other day. I did my crime, and I did my time, but I did not deserve the life sentence that I got from the negligence of the state to protect us. Yeah, we know what we did. We know why we were there. Everybody knows. But that does not mean that we deserve to sit in a death trap and fear for our lives every day, and then to come home to this. Now, every day, every morning, there's this. And God forbid, if I'm having a really good time and I start laughing too hard, then I also, again, cannot breathe. And I'm just here because, I want something to happen to everybody. Get them out. Just please get them out. Don't even give me anything. I don't even care. Just get them out before they end up like me. And if I keep going, I'm going to keep going. So I'm done, I promise. Thank you for your time.
Wow. Mm-mm-mm.
It's so much. It's so much. You know, we have been talking about Krystal for about at least 4 or 5 years. And every time it's always a denial. No mold.
I can't imagine my patient telling me that they're sick and I don't do anything about it. I
Yeah.
can't imagine a stranger telling me that they're sick and I don't do anything about it. I can't imagine that. That is.
This is
They
hard.
just don't have a, they don't have a
That is
conscience.
not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. And think about how many, we're hearing 2 people tonight. We know with Krystal, and I need us to really hear this tonight. We know 3 people's stories now. And I know
I don't think I can hear
that, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that with these stories that these are the ones who are able to speak now. We got one one of the 3 is still there, speaking out from where she is and has attempted to get help for years. And there's so many people that are at, and I know it's going on around the world, but I'm just talking about Huron Valley right now that are not able to speak. They haven't had a voice. And they're all affected. There's even employees that are affected. And many of them won't speak out because of fear. And that's why we're here. That's why we come together.
Yes.
This is a heinous crime. And they
They just
need,
need
there's
yeah.
no accountability. They need to be held accountable to the maximum.
They need to be charged with RICO. That's what they need to be.
Yes.
It's definitely a RICO. It's definitely a RICO. I mean, and this, besides civil, that's definitely a RICO. And that's everybody involved. Because,
Yeah.
here's the thing with me, right? When they want to come into communities and criminally charge people, if I'm doing something and Trichet know about it and Reverend Tia know about it, they hit us with a conspiracy so fast and criminally charges and conspiracy carry the highest. So I don't see how this would be different. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to elected officials, you know that it's mold here. You know what's happening. It's harming people. You know people are dying, and you still doing all these different cover-ups. It's definitely a RICO case. I think everybody should be criminally charged because it's criminal.
Mm-hmm. That's why they want qualified immunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're holding this thing up so they can get qualified immunity.
Mm-hmm.
And because they already know it's criminal. It's too many women sick. When we're talking about Teresa Dunlap, Mo in her chemo port.
Yeah.
Mo, the lady was doing good until that mold invaded that chemo port.
That's
And
right.
it was swift. It was swift how she left here. It was so quick. I talked to Krystal about it, and she was saying that, I used to see her every day and talk to her, and then all of a sudden, when they found out about that mold in her chemo port, she said she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming here tonight because So many people are denial. They want to know what she do, what did they do, and all this other craziness that have nothing to do with why are they killing people inside the facility. This is what we're talking about. Why are they making people sick and nobody is taking accountability for it? The judge said they've been covering it up, denying it. There's reports, but still no urgency to correct the problem. I don't see the urgency. I see more gaslighting. I see more gaslighting. Even today, I'm talking to Krystal, and she was just crying about the situation that's going, how they're gaslighting her. She's sitting there with extreme headaches. They want to give her Tylenol. She's like, that's all they do. They think Tylenol is the answer for everything. No. But yet still they won't send her back to the specialist. Because he was the one who said, well, not only him, he was one of the few who has said that she won't get better as long as she's in there. Because every day she's just being reinfected, reinfected. And so, oh my goodness.
When she's tired, is to have to go through this. She is such a walking miracle, though. Let me say that.
Mm-hmm.
Such a walking miracle, because no matter what they do to her, and I mean no matter what they do, she still is rising like that phoenix out of them ashes, and she will not stop. But she is tired. Needs them to do something, and somebody needs to do something now.
So speaking of Krystal, she made a video. I have the video, you guys.
Yay!
So everybody sit back.
Okay.
And we're gonna hear Krystal.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This ain't nothing but the old rotten devil.
That's all. That's all it is.
We're gonna come back because something's going on with the video. So go ahead. Let me figure this out. Marcus, go ahead.
I missed the one. I was texting my daughter back. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Repetia.
Yeah, it's so important that we and I agree, this moment right here is just because I was waiting for this. Oh my goodness. And I know everybody else is too. And I think we are at a pinnacle of change. And I think that's why we come together every week, because change not only is necessary, but I believe that we're on the brink of that, because you can't keep putting truth out in front of people and then expect nothing to happen, because now they're getting uncomfortable. So we have to stick to what we're doing now, things, because they're going to have to make a change, because it's looking very bad right now for them. For those who are in leadership who have not taken steps to make any changes whatsoever, that means they are participating in inhumane acts themselves. Their practice of not responding, if they don't respond, when you don't respond, and you ignore people as they are being harmed and killed and disregarded and tormented, then you are also part of that whole equation. So I'm just so happy, Rebecca, that you were able to join us tonight and you were able to tell your story. I know that I can't even imagine how that feels, to
Thank you.
have to, no one can say how that feels and what you have to endure every day. Every
Every
day.
day.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you look young, you know. I know a few people have lost their eye, but they're much older. You know what I'm saying? Still young.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking, have you leaned towards any litigation yet? For any recourse?
I didn't know how to do anything. All I did was grieve and kite. When I got out, I tried to contact Lansing
Okay.
and
Then maybe you get with Rashay and J Love after this and just kind of draft out just write down everything that happened, who all you contacted, and stuff like that, and then just kind of draft out a complaint for you. And I can kind
okay.
of put that with the help, and I think we should lean on. I think she should get with Racine Miller, J Love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been home?
Hi, everybody. This is Krystal Denise Clark. My MA number is 435-064. I am in WHB, the Valley of Death. This really is the Valley of Death. Just want to give y'all a little update. I haven't heard anything from the state reps. I haven't went to my appointment for the specialist that's treating the mold that's growing out my body. MDOC Medical is playing games with my life. Dr. Ellison is the key part of it as well. Is Don Jones, all of them. Death care. This is what this is. This is death care. And it's so sad that I'm sitting here just suffering, in pain every day, headaches every day, body breaking out all over my body. Ears is not getting better. Breathing is terrible. Can't get a breathing treatment. Oh, man. I got numbness and tinglings all over my body. And I'm tired. Not tired of fighting. I'm tired of them getting away with this and nothing is being done. That's what I'm tired of. Governor Whitmore. My name is Krystal Denise Clark, and I'm speaking to you. You have the power to change this. You have the power to do something about this. I've been writing you for a long time, begging you for help and telling you what's going on in here. I sent you the proof. I sent you all my medical records, every letter, every paper I've been writing. I sent it to you. And you just, at first you were responding, then you just stopped. I want to know, why haven't you came in here? Why haven't you sent somebody here yourself to see it for yourself? If you don't believe the paperwork, why haven't you came yourself? tired of this every day. And then they just make it as like it's all in my head when they know it's not all in my head. They have the proof. And when it come out, somatic disorder, I don't have that. I know what's wrong with my body. I know when something is wrong with my body. It's not all in my head. It's not all in my head. Dr. Ellison on the 24th with Sewer Mental Health, P.A. Johnson. They try to act like the back of my ears, oh, it's growing something else, trying to cover up the mold, somehow. Somatic disorders. But I might think something is wrong. That's why I want more tests. No, I know something is wrong. And the mold in the facility is affecting me every day. It's killing me. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not crazy. It's not all in my head. They had to be ashamed of themselves. I don't know how they could sleep. When you see it every day, and you see me, and you see it growing, and you just let me sit here and suffer. Just let me sit here and suffer, and now I got to go out in the cold and take all my meds. Because of Don Jones and Dr. Ellison and their leadership. That's the plan that they choose for me. Just to torture me and make me suffer because I have spoke out about this. They're not helping me. This is a cover-up. This is a cover-up what they are doing, and they got to be ashamed of themselves. They took an oath to help not to kill. That's what they doing. They killing. They killing us. They are killing us. They're not helping us. They're killing us here. And everybody sit here and walk around and see it and don't say nothing. It's shame on y'all people too. This is so heartbreaking. I cannot sit here and work here. Because these people, loved ones, is here suffering and I say nothing. Everybody always want to say somebody crazy. We ain't crazy. We is not crazy. This place should have been shut down a long time ago. I'm tired of this. So, this is what more you have the power to do something. I got a year and 4 months left. And I'm asking you to release me out of this so I can get the help and the right treatment. There's no helping me here. It's more than one different type of mold here. Smoke is growing. I'm highly allergic to it. We have the paperwork. You got doctors telling them. They still not listen to the doctors about my health. So I'm asking you to look at your family, look at your kids. Would you want someone to do you like that? Like they are doing Krystal Denise Clark. I'm asking you for your help. I got kids and grandbabies to come home to that. But even that, I'm asking you for your help. I'm asking you, please, for your help. I do not deserve this. I paid them 15 years for something I didn't do. 15 years. So I'm asking you to step in and help and do something about it. I'm tired. I get tired of myself. I'm tired of seeing other people suffer to it. And nothing is being done. It's so heartbreaking when a lot of people know what's going on and they just hush and keep it quiet. How is they allowed to do this? And I know from the grace of God, He see all of you in my faith, in my trust in God. He's going to make a way. And all of you will answer to Him. Not only for what you did to Krystal Denise Clark, but what you did to all. My voice stands for my fight, stands for So I'm praying that you have a heart and you do something about this soon before it is too late. I'm trying to stay strong and uplifted. It is hard. Everybody say stay strong and stay strong. It is hard. It really is hard. It's really hard. And I got my faith and trust in the Lord. And I know He covers me. And I know He got me. So everybody out there, all of you out there that hear my voice, just standing and fighting with me, I want to say thank y'all so much. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to meet y'all, but I'm keeping my faith that I will. Keeping my faith that I will. And I love you all for all the support, every last one of you. Even the ones against us talking bad and down. I forgive you all and may God bless you all. Because you never know when you will be in these shoes. You never know. You don't have to do anything to be in these shoes. I want to let y'all know that. So, just wanted to share with y'all. I'm really hurt right now. That nothing haven't been done yet. Something should have been done a long time ago. They've been covering this up for 15 years. They knew 15 years about this. And on top of that, they have the proof. It's still neglecting me. Medical neglect. This is the valley of death. And I'm asking everybody to stand to get this place shut down and help the people. They don't deserve this. So, Ms. Whitmore, I'm asking you to stand with us and do something about this. Because you have the power, and you can do it right now. We do not deserve to live like this. We do not deserve to live like this. Come in here and see this place. It's just a cover up what they are doing. They get all this money and we get dead food with maggots. We showered in molded water. He's making it and they feed us food with maggots all in it. They do not deserve it. Water all bagged up, molded, all kinds of stuff, spreading on our feet and stuff. The word is tasted like, oh my God. And what healthcare do, what the work do, what they do. They cover it up. We've been ignored. We do not deserve this air blowing on us, keeping us freezing and cold because they try to cover up this mold here. This is so disgusting. A shame and heartbreaking. No one, loved ones, no one deserves this. So I'm asking y'all to stand with us and fight to get this place shut down and every last one of
you have 1 minute remaining.
That is in on it and don't do nothing about it. We asking that y'all help to get those people walked off so they won't hurt no one else. They don't deserve the job. They don't deserve to be doctors, nurses. They don't deserve to be officers, wardens, deputies. They don't deserve. They don't deserve to be state reps, nothing else. They don't deserve it or for the ones not doing the right things. And I salute the ones that's doing the right thing. We thank you and may God bless you. So I'm asking all y'all to stand with us. And everybody share this with everybody. Share this with your loved ones. Come join us. Join the fight to help shut it down. Free Krystal Denise Clark. I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus. I love you all. Free your loved ones in the name of Jesus. I love you all. God bless you all.
Thank you for you.
Go ahead, Reverend Tia.
That was needed. It hurts. That was needed. It is painful. And I think people don't want to hurt. They don't want to feel the pain. And they've become so numb that they don't want to even look to see what is actually happening. So they don't feel. They don't want to feel. They want to go through this life not feeling for others, having no empathy, not even realizing what they're doing. It is time for us to definitely continue our efforts. But for those who have not even begun, it is time to join together and close that whole place down. It should not even be. All right, now I want to continue to ask the Most High God, the God that's everywhere present at all times, at all points of space, to continue to hold her up and keep her lifted. While these people who have no conscience continue to ignore the cry. But I'm thanking God in advance that the cry is not going to be in vain, that the tears are not in vain, and that our efforts are not in vain, and that there is a shaking, and that this hardened ground, all of these stones are going to have to come down, and she's coming out of there. Praying that she receives the medical attention that she needs, and others like her. This cannot continue. And we are going to walk by faith and not by sight. We're going to continue our efforts regardless of the inaction of those who are in leadership positions. And I'm believing God that they will be shaken into action to make a change. Not by power nor by might, but by God's. I thank God in advance. I thank God in advance.
Amen.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Reverend Tia. So the stories are abundant. There are so many women who are suffering. Their voices are going unheard because somebody want to keep their job or their pension is more important than health care, than just telling the truth. You know, Rebecca, I just want to, again, just piggyback on everybody else, like just thanking you for like being here and standing up and telling your story. It has to be challenging for you because you're living it.
Yes.
You live in it. And
You one of the millions of suffer from an upset stomach after a big meal? Try Pepto-Bismol. Unlike some products.
got some extra feedback coming in.
I like Pepto Bismol too, but I don't know.
Go ahead, Leslie.
No, I just had a question, because I can't remember his name. One of the guys who started Michigan Liberation said, the people who are closest to the injustice often are closest to the solutions. So I'm thinking,
Nick.
huh?
Nicholas Buckingham.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm thinking about Rebecca. What you feel like there's any things that could happen, like ways that we could put pressure on outside of just flattening the whole place? Until then, like what could we do to help someone who might be suffering the same way you were a few years ago?
Well, when I was in there, I kited, I grieved, I tried to reach out to everybody. And I think it's pretty odd that me and Krystal's got the same diagnosis with this mold.
Did they tell
Really?
you you're the only one?
Right now, yeah. But I've been fighting this. I mean, I've been sick since I got out. And I go to U of M every week. And I have all these doctors, and they said I'm a mystery. This is University of Michigan, Ann Arbor.
So there's a Krystal is seeing an infectious disease doctor, and his name is Brandon Beck. I see if you can, Rebecca, reach out to him.
They referred me to one. And now I'm probably going to be seeing more specialists. Because they just found this.
He's in Ann Arbor. He's treating Krystal for the aspergillus, whatever. He's treating her for it now. So he's familiar with what's going on. He would probably be a great advocate for you, because he's standing up to them now, MDOC regarding Krystal. And because of that, she hasn't seen him in over a month. But he's not backing down on the truth of what it is. And, we just can't allow them to keep gaslighting people and telling them what it is not, when they know when the men were in there that mold was in there. This is not
exactly.
New
I heard that too.
The men were talking about the mold when they were in there. So now it's just horrific, and it's just all that painting and stuff that they're doing. I think somebody came in there. They had an inspection a few days ago, and they were in there and power washed the showers. And Krystal was like, they ain't never have done that. Trying to get all of that mold off the ceiling of the shower. If you, I don't know what is so hard for them to just say, hey, this place is full of mold and we need to come up with some solutions. That's what the judge said. The judge even said, hey, you got to January 2026 to come up with some solutions. Quit denying it, because it's really killing people. It's really making people sick. Go ahead, Tristan.
Rebecca, do you mind if I give your number to this attorney that I'm texting with right now?
No. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I have my medical records from University of Michigan too, and right now I'm in the process of trying to get the records from the prison.
Right, and maybe we can help with that, or somebody can help with that with the Freedom of Information Act. I really don't have too much to say tonight. After that, my heart is kind of heavy, and not kind of like, and when I think about what Rebecca has to go through, what Krystal is going through, There's really no word that haven't already been spoken, right? Like, it's just devilish, just purely just devilish, just devils, just rotten to the core to do somebody like that over and over and over again, and so many people. And I think about the women this summer saying they couldn't breathe.
Exactly.
They
And they
died.
just ignore you.
They died saying they couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
They gave me a wheelchair because I said I couldn't breathe and walk and was dizzy.
Well, at least they gave you when they took Krystals. They took her wheelchair. They walk holding onto the wall, knowing she had a heart problem. And then every time she walked, her heart elevate. And the doctor didn't one of them tell her it was good for her heart rate to go up.
Yeah, Dr. Ellison.
So if they give you a wheelchair instead of getting to the core of the problem, that's the thing. It's like they wait until someone passes or until things just get so bad. When things get so bad, you got to spend more money. Why not put things on the preventative end? You know what I'm saying? Like by now, business should have gardens. Like, I mean, it's no reason why things cannot be done in these prisons to help change people's lives, man, while they're there.
Right.
It's not, I mean, other than the fact that they want it being a revolving door. So you go out, they don't want to put any type of positivity in, and then hoping that somebody comes back in. That's what the whole method is. It's all about the money. Just like that, one of the elected officials told me, said, follow the money.
Yes.
Well, if you follow the money, you'll find out why they don't want to do nothing.
So when you say you're trying to get your records from the MDOC, is that through WellPath or do you have to get them from MDOC?
Dwayne Waters.
Oh, you have a person.
No,
I've contacted. I didn't know what to do when I got home, and now I'm learning more stuff.
When did you come home? I might have missed the part. When did you come home?
2023.
Okay.
So, Trisha, why I got you talking?
Oh my goodness. All roads lead next week to the Capitol. In Lansing for the Stand Up, Speak Out rally. This is against MDOC sanctioned death sentence, their poor health care. We standing up for everybody in MDOC, with the highlight being on Krystal Clark and the women, but also being on anybody that is inside of MDOC and suffering from poor health care. Because we know it's not just happening to the women. We have major evidence of that too. Sending up prayers to Charity Hansen for her husband, Andrew Blunt. Charity Blunt sending up prayers to Lucky, for Lucky. Mike Lawson sending up prayers for Darwin. Sending up prayers for so many people that are behind the walls of Michigan Department of Corrections that are suffering and near death's door intentionally. So we asking everybody to come out, stand, make your signs. We're going to have a sign making station, and we're going to be there from 9 to 1. That's November the 12th. It's next Wednesday. And we are just going to stand tall on behalf of everybody who is suffering and make a statement to our elected officials that we are demanding that they do something, and we are not going to go away until they do. So please, we need all hands on deck. We got a special performance that day as well. It's going to be a treat. You don't want to miss it. So we hope you join us.
I was going to say, I think K. Muli going to be there.
Yes, that special performance.
Yes. Again, you guys, this has been a tough conversation, but a needed conversation. Um, we don't talk about stuff that's really harming our community. Even like the nurse Jackie was saying, Mary-Jackie, about like, you know, nobody was talk about the mold in her community until she had to stand up and raise her hand, you know, to talk about it. We have to have these conversations. It's important because you might not know that's mold.
Right.
You know, you might not know it's mold. And we're talking about MDOC, but some people have this in their home for years. Leaky roofs, flooded basements. That's how Lejuan Council and the climate nurse, they got started because their community flooded a couple of years ago. And the whole area on the east side flooded into all these homes. So I'm just saying this is just an important topic. We need to talk about it more. We're going to do a part 2 next week. We still have other women that we have on recording that we want to, you know, express their stories, let their stories be heard. Please join us Tuesday at the Wrongful Conviction Summit. We have some very powerful speakers. Put that flyer back up. Mr. Hakeem Crampton, Ronell Johnson, Leon Benson, Ken Nixon, and Eric Anderson. They're going to be speaking. It's going to be a powerful platform of panelists. And so, is it like light refreshments, Trisha?
Yeah, light refreshments. We asking everybody to register if you can. So go ahead and hit that QR code and register, so that we can get a pretty good count of the food. And it's while supplies last. So we ask everybody get up there and come on in. Starts at 7, but it's free parking after 6. And so you can come on down and park for free in the area. I believe one of the parking structure is free. And so yeah, come on out. We'll open the doors at 6:30, and just looking to have an informational time.
Leslie, do you have something coming up?
Well, I'll be wherever y'all at, and then I'll be there too. And then on this Sunday, there's a showing. I'm not directly involved, but it's called A Ripple in Ann Arbor. And oh my goodness, I remember it because I was in high school when this all happened. There was a serial rapist. Actually, there were 2, but they tried to put it all on one. And the only thing, because the person had some sort of head covering, only thing the woman could say that it was a black man. So they proceeded to stop and question over 600 black men, and 120 of them were coerced into giving their blood. Like they said, if you're innocent, then why don't you give your blood? So they were young and they did it, and they kept their DNA for all this time. They've never had apology, never got they don't even know, many of them, if they have the DNA still there. And so it's called the DNA Dragnet. And our Ann Arbor Councilwoman, Cynthia Harrison, and I think the young woman's name is Aaliyah Mitchell. If I said it wrong, charge it to my head, not my heart. Is a filmmaker, and they're showing at the Michigan Theater at 2 p.m. And it's called A Ripple in Ann Arbor. And we're looking to get it in the film shows and all of that, because Ann Arbor has always shown up in the world as being very liberal and blah 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 blah, but it is not that, list for another day. And the harm still ripples. Like the harm, we still see it today. It reverberates. So, and on next Friday, J Love's gonna be on my talk about censorship in the media. You know, we have so many things going on, and one of the ways that we've been able to talk about things is through social media. These media companies, they ain't loyal, right? So we're going to talk about some of the ways that just from people getting their whole platforms taken, the new trend of having racists use black faces and black names so they can get people in arguments, get your whole account taken, all sorts of nasty stuff. I've had to send FBI files to Meta to prove my own family heritage that I know. Yeah, so I've had my YouTube taken. I mean, after our podcast was Zoom bombed, and we were given racial epithets and sexual innuendos, but I was punished for that. Lost 15 years with the video. So just think about other ways, and J Love is has done a great job of, you know, like we said, we had this video from Krystal. A lot of all of what you see that comes from J Love, and I would love to have her on to talk about that. So let's just talk about it. We'll be on Patreon and Zoom, and I'll send the information out.
Yay. And then also, you guys who live in Detroit, I need you guys to start going to the Detroit Police Commission meetings. They're on Zoom. If you can't make it, get the Zoom link and start listening to what is going on in your town. I was on there because I wanted to find out more about the shot spotter that's violating people's constitutional rights in the city. And found out about some cell phone technology that they're using that they didn't have permission. The people don't know that they're using. But because phones are now operating in 4 and 5K, they want money to advance, you know, to step it up, their technology, right? So you asking people for money to use something that it hasn't even been approved. There's no policy, there's no nothing. So it's like a mobile, from what I'm gathering from the meeting, it's like a mobile phone tower. And supposedly, those air quotes for those that's listening, supposedly they are not really, they're only using it for, you know, if they're looking for a specific person of a heinous crime. I'm just saying, why has it been a secret? Why has it been a secret? But as I dig into it, it's called Hailstorm, Stingray or something, Hailstorm. It's been around for a minute. The Michigan State Police uses it. Michigan is one of the places that heavily use it. So we should be really start paying attention, especially with all this ICE stuff and all the things that's going around right now, how they're surveilling us. You know, it started as terrorists. You know, they needed all this stuff for the terrorists after 9/11. I guess now we're the terrorists because they're using it on us every day. So we need.
Is there a way to block them?
It's not just that. Like in my neighborhood, let me tell you, on Tuesday there were ICE agents all around my neighborhood taking pictures of people's houses and the back of their license plates. And there were people saying like, hey, why are you doing that? Looking for Hispanic, because I have a lot of Hispanic neighbors. Anyways, they came and got this man, and he's legal, but they, you know, anybody with accent is or a certain hue, picked him up at 1:30 in the morning. Picked him up at 1:30 in the morning. And so the next day, which was yesterday morning, I guess, or I don't know, I'm getting the days mixed up, but maybe it's happened Wednesday. Yesterday morning, they had the court hearing, and a bunch of neighbors went to just be in the courtroom to watch the proceedings. But it's crazy. Some of the kids are scared to go to school. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
That's happening in Southwest.
Yeah, they're using a lot of fear tactics right now. I don't know. We got to do something.
They're definitely using this cell phone technology.
Yeah.
They're definitely using a lot of stuff on us. And so we have to educate ourselves. Maybe you need to get off the phone with all this stuff. Maybe we need to start being more in person, but I'm just saying you need to know, we need to have these conversations, because walking around here oblivious to things is how we get so caught up in stuff that we, just imagine if we were having the conversation, just engaging each other. That would, I could go back and talk to this person about that. Have you heard about this? Have you heard? Just having the conversations are so important. So please participate in your city's police commission meetings. It's important. So that's all for tonight. Thank you, Rebecca, for joining us. We appreciate you. I know we're going to be talking more soon. Hopefully. I see you in Lansing, and I'll see you guys next week, and I'll see everybody next week. And except for Marcus, because he's going to be in Hollywood. So thank you, everyone, for watching us, and we'll see you next week on Turning a Moment into a Movement. Good night.
Peace.
Just a light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Just a light of mine, just a light of mine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night, the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit, all I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for me. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a cup of noodles. You know what that feel like? Do you know what it is? And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV, ooh-wee, cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute.